So I think it's about time I talk to you guys about my car, the AMG GT63. Now, I ordered this car in April this year. So this has kind of been hush-hush. I know it's not new anymore, but up until I kind of took delivery of it, I hadn't told anyone. There was maybe 3 people that knew about it. So I was keeping it mega secret. I didn't actually know when it was going to arrive. Because I ordered it in April and they hadn't gone into production yet. I think they were due to go into production in July. So I was an early adopter. There weren't any examples on the road or anything like that, not in the UK. I ordered it and was just kind of told, you know, to be honest, I was told you'll be lucky if it lands this year. So I didn't want to start telling people because it was quite a long way away and there was still a lot of work I needed to do to actually be able to purchase it. You know, I didn't, you know, it wasn't a done deal by any means back in April. So then I've just been sat on it really, you know, waiting in silence for the car to arrive. And here it is. So a lot of you guys did ask me some questions through Instagram about the car. A lot of it was around like the money side of it, which is to be expected. And then there were some questions on the ordering process, kind of like minimum deposits to secure build slots, you know, things like that. So let's just jump straight into the kind of awkward bit. This car cost me, with the Magno paint, the satin paint, and driving assistance package plus, I think that was like the only extras that really you can even choose. It's quite limited actually, the ordering system in the UK. But this car as spec'd cost me £185,000. So it's pricey. So pricey that I'm kind of hoping part of the car's charm is going to be the fact that I'm the only person stupid enough to buy this thing. So most people are going to be leaning towards Porsche products. You know, like your brand new Aston Martin Vantage that came out this year, earlier in the year, that starts at around like the 180, I think, 180, 185 mark. So you're looking at like a base spec Vantage, you know, you're looking at some like pretty high-end Porsche products, and pretty much anything in the used market from like Lamborghini, Ferrari, you know, there's a lot of choice at that kind of, you know, for that money. So not a lot of people are going to buy this car at the moment. I think, you know, give it 12 months when a couple sort of used examples, potentially this one, start floating around. You know, you might see a lot of people, you know, you might see more uptake, but I'm kind of hoping that for the time being, I'm the only person stupid enough to buy it. And I bought it because it was my dream car. So, well, to be honest, the previous model, the AMG GT, was my dream car, always one of my dream cars. And then I heard about these sort of towards the end of last year. They started getting announced. I think around like November time, there was a lot of press stuff coming out. And then, you know, the opportunity came up where I was able to order one. You know, I had maneuvered myself into the position to be able to afford one. So I thought, right, you know, it's now or never kind of thing. I was in a good place with my M4 before, where I could have, you know, I could exit that, or, you know, with the added lead time that it took for this car, I was, you know, it would have worked out, and it did work out. So yeah, so I went for it. So yeah, it is a super expensive car. It's a lot of money for a Mercedes product. You know, one of the things I was maybe worried about was, is it going to be special enough? So have I spent too much on what is essentially still like a volume brand, you know, when I could have been looking at Aston Martins and Porsches and stuff like that? I can say personally that it was the right decision. This car is perfect, and like the way I describe it is, it's a supercar with no compromises. So it's got a huge boot. It kind of has back seats, but like, you know, enough room back there to chuck bags in and stuff. It's got, as standard, I think all of the UK ones, they come with front axle lift as standard. So, you know, like speed bumps and stuff like that, you can just pop the front up over it. It's, you know, 4-wheel drive. Like, I mean, obviously I've taken delivery during the winter, and since then we've actually had like rain, snow, ice, everything. It's not missed a beat, you know. It's okay on fuel, but it's not okay on fuel. but it's got a 70-litre tank, which is pretty kind of generous. So range isn't really an issue. Like you can still take it on a pretty decent road trip, and you're not filling it up every 10 minutes. So that's pretty cool. And then there's the fun stuff. Like obviously it's a bonkers car. Like this does 200 mile an hour, like a 0 to 60 in sub 3 seconds. Like I'm never ever gonna get anywhere near like the level of capability that this car has. I'm never going to outdrive this car, certainly not on the roads. So yeah, just such a special car, and my dream car, and I'm very, very lucky that I was able to make it happen. Another big topic that you guys kept asking is around the what options there are. Now there aren't a lot of options, to be honest. It's quite streamlined, where there's basically 3 different editions or 3 different versions. You've got the GT63, you've got the GT63 Ultimate, which is what this is, and then you have the Launch Edition. Now the Launch Edition and the Ultimate, there's not a lot between them. The main difference, I think, is the Launch Edition comes with some things that you can't get in any of the others. Like I think it comes with like a gold set of wheels that you can add to the other versions. There's like some limited options that are only on that car, but there's nothing extra in terms of performance or aero or anything like that. Oh, you get carbon. So that's one thing actually that I was frustrated about, is you have to get the Launch Edition to get any carbon like on the exterior. So if you want like the carbon like diffuser and stuff like that, you have to get the Launch Edition, which means you have less choices in terms of colors, less choices in terms of wheels, and I think the Launch Edition has no back seats. And I'm not sure if at the time you could add them. So the Ultimate kind of comes with everything minus the carbon. So I would have probably preferred carbon because I went for a white car, but that's kind of the only thing really. But it is what it is. So I went for the Ultimate, which had like the fixed wing, like the aero pack, comes with carbon ceramic brakes as standard, pretty much everything in terms of like interior features. And then the only other options I had were the Magno paint. So Opalite white Magno was the paint choice. That was about £6,300, I think. And the driving assistance package plus, which kind of does like all the it drives itself, like almost hands-off driving. It is hands-off, but it warns you if you take your hands off. But it's all like the safety features and everything like that. And then the only other option I think pretty much was this truffle brown interior with the sort of like quilted seats. That's like a really nice touch, and the embossed headrests. But yeah, that's everything I think that I was able to choose. There's not really an awful lot, you pretty much just choose one of those 3 versions and kind of get what you're given for the most part. So another one was minimum deposit. So I don't know what the minimum deposits are on these in terms of the finance package, if you're going to finance it, but to secure the order, it's £5,000. Now, I put down more than that in total, but to get the order placed, to get a build slot, it's £5,000 there and then, basically. So way back in April, I gave Mercedes £5,000. Yes, it is financed. If I had £185,000 in my pocket and I dropped it all on a car and it was just disappeared, I think I'd feel sick. Now, from my experience, most people tend to finance these cars. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm no expert, and ultimately there's no fiscally responsible way to purchase a car like this. It's a terrible waste of money. So I don't know, but it does seem like it's more sort of the normal thing, like anything above 6 figures, most people seem to finance them. Loads of people have asked about like the tech specs of the car. I know I said a few of them earlier, but it's, you can Google that. It puts a big smile on my face every time I start it, and that's enough for me. Right, we're gonna start it now, and I don't know what the audio is going to be like because I've been having a nightmare with audio the last couple of videos, but hopefully I've tried some different stuff, and hopefully we'll get some good sounds in. I don't know if that's coming out any good, but in here it sounds incredible every time. Like, I do feel it's actually really loud. So one of the things I was worried about is all new cars because of the new emissions regulations and noise regulations, they've all kind of been silenced. So most new cars, even performance cars like this, they sound a lot quieter than they used to, but this still has a really nice sound to it and enough volume, you know, enough volume that I kind of sometimes feel bad when I start it up in the mornings, like on the way to the gym, you know, stuff like that. So that's got to be a good sign in terms of like how much, you know, noise it produces. Now, I've had a few Mercedes products now, and my first new Mercedes was a CLA 220D in 2017. And I remember ordering it in Mercedes Dorchester, and they had on the wall, like up high up on the wall, they had a big poster or like a big canvas of the previous model AMG GT. And ever since then, I've been like, that's my car. Like when I was buying my first kind of like baby Mercedes, I was like, I want that thing. I don't know what the noise is coming out like in this, but honestly, driving it, I had a CLA 45S, and I remember thinking that like the pops and bangs in that car were almost like programmed, you know, like every time you downshifted it was like bop bop bop, like it was the same every time, and it had like a little like 4-cylinder 2-litre engine. It kind of like sounded a little bit programmed, but this engine has so much character. It just always sounds different. Like every time you start it, it sounds different. Every time you downshift, you get kind of a different noise out of it. Cattle grid, not ideal, but you just get so much character and so much kind of, you know, it's just such a fun engine to you know. I mean, that's, you know, that never gets boring, that never gets old. Such a great feeling to be able to drive something like this, and to be able to own it. You know, I've been quite lucky to drive lots of spicy cars, but having this on your drive every morning is just crazy. So I think that's it, to be honest. That's everything I wanted to say, and I hope I've answered as many questions as possible. A lot, like I say, a lot of it was the same sort of thing. A lot of you were kind of interested in the price and things like that, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna head home, but I hope I've, you know, answered everyone's questions. If anyone has got any questions, you know, anything else about this car, just let me know in the comments or on Instagram, you know, and I'll get to them. But it's honestly a privilege to be able to share this car with you guys, because, you know, a lot of work went in behind the scenes to make this happen, and it very nearly didn't happen. Actually, there was, you know, some stuff this year that's just been, you know, it's been a challenge. So you know, and everyone's actually been really nice about it, which is cool, because a lot of people can be funny about cars, you know, but, you know, for the most part, everyone's been congratulatory, which has been nice. So thank you. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. When that is, who knows? I can't imagine I'm going to be churning them out once a week, but as soon as I get something to film, you know, you guys are going to see it. So thank you, and thanks for watching, anyone who made it this far. But I'll see you guys in the next one.